Sierra Bright Dot Fly Fishing Guide Service. I've been teaching, guiding, writing, and lecturing on fly fishing in the Eastern Sierras since 1982. Well, let's get to this week's fly fishing report. Well, we're going to start with the upper Owens River. And the cutthroats are ending their migration for their spawning run. They're just about done. And cutthroats, when they spawn, they get pretty beat up and a lot of them die. It's a pretty high mortality rate. So if you walk the river right now, don't be surprised if you see a lot of dead fish, because that's what's going on, is they can't make it through the rigors of spawning. There's still a few good-looking fish in there, and we're fishing for those using the bigger size 12 jigged Euro nymph flies. And for what I'm fishing are a size 12 stoner, a size 12 green gold prince nymph, and a size 12 gold ribbed hare's ear. Well, let's head over to Hot Creek. Hot Creek, still a little bit tough. Hatches starting to develop, but not real good yet. We're seeing blue-wing olives and we're seeing caddis, but neither one of them are in big enough numbers to bring the fish up to the surface. So I've been fishing down in the canyon where we're nymphing, and the fishing's a little bit easier. Down there, I'm using caddis nymphs in gray. I'm using beadhead flashback pheasant tails, and then we're using some midges, tigers, and zebras. Okay, let's go over to Crawley Lake. Crawley Lake is fishing good when the wind don't blow. So you just got to be out there the right day. I've had windy mornings and windy afternoons, and I've had windy days all day where we don't even try to go out. Guys are fishing in 15 to 20 feet of water, fishing the north side of McGee over at McGee Creek where the creek comes in, and then they're fishing up on the north arm, kind of along Sometimes Bay and Christmas Bay. They're using black midges, tigers, and zebras. They're also using the albino barrett, and they're using gray midges. And they're fishing them under indicators with 5X tippet. And they're getting rainbows, browns, and cutthroats, and the occasional perch to get the grand slam up there. Okay, let's head down the hill to the lower Owens. Still flowing at 175, which is perfect. And pressure is really loosened up there. Most everybody else is fishing everywhere else, so the lower Owens isn't getting as much fishing pressure, so the fishing's gotten much better. The hatches, well, there's blue-wing olives, there's PMDs, which are pale morning duds. Those are both mayflies. There's little yellow stones, and there's caddis late in the afternoon or early evening. But for the most part, caddis being the only exception, the fish really aren't coming to the surface to take those dry flies. So we're nymphing there under an indicator, but doing better with the Euro nymph system. And again, that area is just fishing really good right now because there's not as much fishing pressure. Well, Bishop Creek Canal, it's looking good. It's got a lot of weeds, and those weeds are providing cover for the trout. And we're fishing the little slots in between the weeds with our nymphs under an indicator. And we're using gold-ribbed hare's ear and beadhead flashback pheasant tails. And that's this week's fly fishing report, brought to you by Fred Rowe from Sierra Bright Dot Fly Fishing Guide Service. I can be found on Instagram and Facebook or on my webpage at sierrabrightdot.com.